Good evening, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Friday. Yay! I know y'all probably don't recognize me fully. Y'all know I got the little pink frame glasses on today, but I thought my lovey was gonna go upstairs to get my red frame glasses from me, but he let me down. He ain't gonna get them. He's like, you know what?
You thought wrong.
I thought wrong, but that's okay. The option is to see, and so I can see. So y'all can see me, and I can see. Well, I can see the camera. So we are good to go. I'm so excited to be with you guys on our marriage edition. Y'all know how we cut up on the marriage edition, and we have a really good time. So we have our exciting guest that they have been with us before, the Montagues, and we are going to bring them out shortly. But we want you guys to text somebody, call somebody, tweet somebody, tell them Victory Talk is on, and we're fixing to talk about marriage, y'all. Because y'all know marriage is the foundation of our households, the foundation of our homes. Why you keep looking at me, Pastor? Okay. Marriage is our foundation, and if your marriage ain't straight, ain't nothing else straight. If your marriage is not straight in the house, ain't nothing else gonna be straight. Am I right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So y'all, I got my lovey with
No,
me
if your
tonight.
wife ain't straight, come on, let's get this straight. If mama ain't happy, ain't nobody in the house happy.
That part.
Husband ain't happy, dog ain't happy,
Dog
ain't
ain't.
nobody happy.
Fish ain't happy. The roof ain't happy. Ain't nobody happy. Y'all can't see our guests in the background, but they cracking up. And my sister and my little brother is with us, our host Key and Mishan Noble. How y'all doing this evening?
Sleepy. How you feeling?
You sleepy?
Y'all
You
already
sleep?
know how I'm doing. It's Friday. It's your girl Key. I got all the energy. Okay, so he good. He can feed off of my energy. He good. I'm good. We good.
We
What's up,
good.
y'all?
Why does it always seem like you and I have all this energy, Key, but they just like real chill. They just like we done drained the life out of them. Say nothing. Say nothing.
Point taken.
He was just about to.
Point taken. I mean, you just
There is
admitted to the
trouble
crime.
already.
We
We
might
ain't
as
even
well come
started.
on. Let's bring the Montagues on in because they over there. They in the background and they are cracking up.
Praise the Lord, everybody. What's going on?
Hey y'all. Hey y'all. How y'all doing this evening?
Good.
I am great. I got y'all fellas. I'm representing because I got the energy. We are in this. Woo!
He must have had his Wheaties. He had his little boost of energy.
Oh yeah.
He got his little, so he got enough for all three of y'all. So I'm thinking y'all gonna have to draw off of him a little bit.
I got my brothers.
You got your, thank you. That lets me know that there's still hope. It's still hope. Good morning, good evening, good evening. I see you, Cynthia. I see you, Tawana. Girlfriend, it is no longer afternoon. We are straight into the evening, sister. We straight into the evening.
Hey,
James
Panetta.
Panetta in the house. Hey, everybody. So we are so excited to have y'all this evening. And so we want to go ahead and get started. We want to talk about marriage and ministry. Now, although, hey Tanisha, although we all three of this couple that is here in ministry, we are literally in ministry together. Um, Ministry is not just your ministry, whether you are a preacher, a teacher, an evangelist, or whatever. Ministry is in your households. Your ministry. I know. Since you do hair, that's your ministry. Because when you touching somebody's head, you all up in here. That's
Yeah.
ministry. When you are taking care of your children, that's ministry. When you are dealing with your families, that's ministry. And I think a lot of people get it confused when we say that ministry. Listen, life is ministry. If you're doing it right, life is ministry. Amen.
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 Amen. Absolutely.
So before I go too much further, I want to let you guys introduce yourselves. I know we know the nobles. The nobles are, we host this, but introduce yourself for those who don't know you.
All right. So I got the look. So here we go. In the churchy sense, praise the Lord, everybody. But just the normal sense. Hey, family, what's going on? It's me, Reverend Montague, just branding, and this is my lovely wife, Mrs. Chantrice Montague. We are so excited to be here. We've been here before, but it's just a new thing, and we just love it every time we hear on Victorious. Glory! Hey, wait a minute. I ain't gonna run today. I ain't gonna run. I felt it in my shoulder. Hey, Lord. But we're excited to be here. We are appreciative of Pastor and First Lady Miller, the oh so noble nobles. We appreciate y'all for bringing us back just one more time. You didn't have to do it, but you did it anyway, and for that we say thank you.
All right, sir.
Well,
come on, y'all, pass the plate. Somebody pass it.
I know that's how my students be feeling when I'm teaching and it start getting good to me. They were like, oh, Reverend Montague is about to come out because it's not Mr. Montague no more.
Right.
They might get up every now and then, but
I see you got a little hang time going on there.
Previously on Marriage Talks, we didn't have all of this, but look what God can do. Listen, y'all. I've seen God do it before. He can grow this thing to this. I won't complain.
Oh my gosh, y'all are a mess. Y'all are a mess. We welcome you guys back, and we are excited to have you with us. And so yeah, there we go. The nobles, y'all want to chime in on anything before I get started?
y'all already know who we are. I said, hey, y'all. If it's any first-time viewers, you're in for a treat. That's all I got to say. Marriage Ministry is litty. So yeah, all of that. You about to get
all of it. Nobles, how long y'all been married?
10 years.
10 years.
I know you tired, but you got to say that with some enthusiasm, baby. You got to come on now.
10 years.
Oh, glory!
10 years for the moment. I don't know about that to get off the air, but for the moment.
What you say is, I have survived 10 years. I have lived yet 10 years.
Yeah, all of that.
I have gone through the fire. I have gone through the flood, but I am still on the marriage battlefield. I have stood for 10 years. That's how you say it, Michelle. I have stood for 10 years. You don't know the fight I've been through. You don't know the casualties. You don't know the warfare.
Come on,
sir.
Hey, Phil.
Yeah.
So between you and my brother, y'all gonna have to bring the energy because I've been creating partitions through the bash all day, bro.
Well, how long you been married, sir?
Huh? Man, I've been married 17 years. 17 years. I've been married 17
there you go. Say it like you mean it.
Oh, Lord.
I've been married 17 years. I've been on this blood-stained battlefield. I had scars and tears, but I have stood tall on this marriage battlefield. Let me tell you now, there's been some times when the enemy has tried to come in, but I say, glory, Jesus, right now, enemy, you might as well get thee behind me, Satan.
Hey!
I had to say, get thee behind me, wife, but then you don't want them too far behind you, because then you got a clear shot at your back. So you have to keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open at all times. Keep your eye on your wife at all times. Keep your eye on your wife.
Chantrice, you gotta come on in here for the women. How long y'all been married?
So we have been married for 1 year and 2 months. We are the newlyweds.
Hallelujah.
That's all you get to say?
Because I just know God is real. God done brought me a mighty, mighty long way. And for that, I say thank you, Lord.
So let me just jump right on in here. We know marriage is hard. Marriage is hard. Can I say that one more again? Marriage is hard.
Yes, it is.
Marriage is the hardest job you will ever endure. That's the hardest job that you are going to embark on. Listen. Being a parent, they say being a parent is hard. I say marriage is hard because being a parent, you can tell your children what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and if they agree or disagree, it doesn't matter because it is what it is. You are God in that relationship. You are running that, right? With marriage, we gotta talk about that. We gotta agree to disagree agreeably. Am I right?
But you know, sometimes
I don't know. Better question.
I'm gonna tell you, sometimes you wives who are mothers, y'all just start handing out orders and y'all forget. Grown man. Wait a minute. No.
Sometimes
I don't know what you're talking about.
What's that now?
We need structure.
There you go.
Hey, I was just trying, Pastor. I was trying to find the like button right here because what you said was very prophetic, and it was the gospel according to husband, because that is absolutely right. Because granted, my wife said that there needs to be structure, but sometimes we move in chaos. Sometimes the husbands like to move in chaos because every now and then something comes beautifully out of chaos. Because you be so structured that you miss the simple thing.
What I'm doing, I have organized chaos.
I like it. That's it. That perspective, organized chaos. Right? That's perspective.
Y'all see the eye blink, right? Anyway. But what they fail to realize or what they fail to acknowledge is that in their chaos, we're in the background
creating more chaos.
No, we're not creating more chaos. We are organizing your chaos. We are getting stuff in order. Anyway, so marriage is hard, but ministry as well is hard. And as I said before, ministry is in multiple different areas of our lives. So, when we put all of that together, the two things, things get really tricky. Am I right? It's hard when you're trying to do that balancing act between marriage and ministry, and then even parenting and just life in general. But we all know that if we don't have healthy marriages, our ministries will be negatively impacted. And that goes without saying. I do find that if we're having difficulties on Sunday morning, I'm not right. We gotta squash it and get it straight before we even get to Sunday. Because have you noticed that, or even when you're trying to do anything ministry related, that if things are not right within your marriage, do you find that things don't go the way that you planned it or the way that you intended?
Yeah, I definitely have seen that. I do apologize. My dog then got one of my light bulbs, and he wants to be real loud. So please forgive us. But the fact of the matter is, you're absolutely right. When you're thrown off course, God had put something in your belly. You knew that you know what? I'm going to preach with all this enthusiasm. I'm going to sing with the joys of the Lord. The timbers are going to come down. But somehow Sunday morning, your spouse then got on the last nerve that you had because the children got on the rest. But your spouse got on that last nerve. And you know, it don't take much for the spouse to get on that last nerve because it's the last one. You know? But the fact of the matter is, oh my goodness, y'all please forgive me. But the fact of the matter is, it's rough and it's hard. But the thing is, God somehow still provides in that chaos. God still provides when you have got to that last nerve. Somehow God provides something different that may not be needed for you, but may be needed for the people. You know, granted, I'm new into this reverend title. I'm not oblivious to ministry, but I also have learned that sometimes when you stand behind the sacred desk, or sometimes when you're ministering in your own way, you're ministering to the people. It may not even be for you.
Yeah.
You know, so sometimes you are blessing somebody else in your pain. Like I never could conceptualize that. You know, I through my psychology courses, I'm like, yo, that sounds like insanity. But the fact of the matter is, sometimes your pain is for somebody else's deliverance.
That part right there. Absolutely.
You know, some of the things that you go through in your marriage, as it's connected to ministry, is to bless somebody else. It's to encourage somebody else. It's to save somebody else's marriage.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, that ministry marriage tag team, you know, they the heavyweight champions of the world, baby.
Woo, that part. We've heard that worship leaders have, in the past, have forfeited their ministries because their marriages have failed. How can we balance serving the needs of our church and the needs of our spouse at the same time? So tonight we're going to talk about some of those concerns, how to avoid them, how to manage them, and how to learn from them, because we definitely need to learn as we go along, because if you don't, you won't be on this journey. Oh my gosh. I talked to some people. I think about Pastor Gray and him and Reverend Candace. They were married for like 30 years, almost 30 years. That's a long time being married. How long have your parents been married? Or your grandparents?
Let me see. 68? Since 68. Since 1968. I'm a history teacher. I can't do my math right now, but 68. There you go. I got that. So
that's 53 years.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a minute. That's a minute.
Then they've been together since they were 12. They're like elementary school sweethearts, not even high school. Like safety patrol. Like, no, I'm serious, baby. She laughing, but like.
But you know what? No, I can actually see that. I can see your grandmother Irene saying, "You mine, and I don't want you to say nothing else about it. That's it." I can see that.
Yep. Absolutely.
So my question tonight, or my first thought is establishing boundaries together and keeping them. The late night and early morning calls, the constant meetings, counseling, and the list goes on and on. So my question is, what does this mean to you, and why do you think establishing boundaries is important to maintain a healthy marriage? We're talking about boundaries now, because I don't know about anybody else, but this dual phone call will ring at weird hours. We be in the middle of eating dinner together and somebody texting, somebody calling on the phone. We had people come by, knock at the door. You know, I'm like, can a sister catch a beat? What about me? I got some needs we need to address. So what do you guys do with boundaries?
Put them in place. This is where structure comes in it. So
there you go. There's that structure.
That structure word.
You a minister.
So I know in our household we have a routine. Pretty much, especially with me doing hair, my clients, they are constantly texting, calling, or sending pictures. And I have now structured my phone to go on do not disturb at 8 o'clock. At 8 o'clock, that is it. I don't answer calls, text messages, nothing. If I haven't set you up and put you in my favorites, you are not getting through. You're gonna get the voicemail. And I've made him do it as well. So at that time, after 8 o'clock, once the kids are settled, the household is quiet, that is our time. We don't talk to anyone or answer calls or anything like that.
Yeah, I definitely would agree. Definitely setting boundaries. Now, I know for me, being in different organizations and affiliations and working different jobs, my thing is I ask permission. Um, uh, I guess this is where, structure wants to come in and peek his head. However, I asked permission, because we had gotten to a point where, hey, boom, baby, I'm going to go do this because it's going to bring money in the house. I didn't really ask, I didn't really consult. And as time went on, uh, my wife kindly, and I put air quotes, but so kindly, made it clear that that's not cool. Because, hey, you're forcing me to adjust my schedule, or you're forcing me to void plans that I had put in place for you that you didn't even know.
Mm.
I was just like, I never thought about it from that, because in my mind, hey, I need to bring money to the house. That way you don't have to work as hard. Because of course I do have some of that old school mentality. If society was different and the economy was different, I promise you my wife would not have to work because I would be the breadwinner. However, I realized after looking at my wife's closet after we got married and started living together that multiple jobs needed to be had to support the desires of her heart. Because I kept hearing her say to God, God, grant me the desires of my heart. And I was just like, wait a minute, I don't understand, God. Why are you giving me all these bills? Because, God heard her prayers. But the fact of the matter is this. But the fact of the matter is, it was that communication piece. So if my job wants me to come in and last minute notice, can you? I got to call. Hey, baby, can I do this? Do you really have to? Are the bills okay? But so if I can't give an answer in a timely fashion, well, that means no.
I
And
love it.
then I'm stuck, because then I got to call my boss. Hey, boss, my mom said I can't come out and play. But it's just more so that just that common courtesy, especially if we have established that my wife is going to be, making sure the house is good. I make sure the roof and the exterior is good, and all the funds that come in the house are taken care of the best way I can.
Yeah.
But so I have to ask permission to go out and play. So
let me throw this out there. Go ahead, me, Sean.
No, I just feel like boundaries in marriage don't always have to be, what you're not doing. Sometimes you just have to put each other put yourself in a position to one another. Like, the when you were talking about people knocking on the door at all hours, Jack. Number one, he's pastor, so he can't stop. Number two, Key would never ask me to do that because she knows the type of person I am. And literally, if one of my friends call at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm getting out the bed. And you making the face like
No,
I haven't done it.
no.
Like,
I'm gonna let you finish.
I'm
Go ahead.
gonna get out the bed at 2 o'clock in the morning because if you called me, you needed me. That's just how I was raised. So boundaries, like she would never ask me to do something out of my character, and I would never ask her to do something out of her character. We both have to compromise that you met who you met, and though we are going to grow together, you fell in love with the man that I am, and the morals and values and principles that I have are going to carry throughout our marriage. Of course, we're going to come to one at every decision made, but certain things we're not going to ask each other not to do. You know, that's just. I'm not going to ask you to stop getting your hair, nails done, everything did. You know, because I know I like my life, so it just is what it is.
That
Just
part.
just to, just to piggyback off of what he was saying, I was making that face because listen, y'all, this is wonderful that, and I'm glad that he said what he said because we hadn't yet addressed that part of the conversation. He's saying that now, yes, I do know the type of person he is. I do know that nobody's going to be calling that time of night unless it's, like literally they're in crisis or, it's a life or death situation. Those are fine. I was making that face because when it becomes a recurring thing, as though, like he was saying, like you guys were saying, you're pastor and first lady. So,
But
with,
the pastor, not me.
who the devil is, so he made me lose my train of thought. So when you get to the point of, having that responsibility, like, yes, we're in ministry, so we definitely have a heightened, responsibility. However, like you said, being the pastor, you almost, I don't want to say you can't shut down, but you kind of can't. And so when we get to that point, not saying that either one of us are going to be a pastor, but when we get to the point of a higher elevation, I think he's gonna his opinion is gonna be a little different because it's 3 a.m. emergency call one time, okay, cool. 11, 12, 1, 2, 3 a.m. emergency calls all the time. Yeah, we might have to have a conversation.
Yeah. What's your thought on that?
Well,
We're talking about what Chantrell was saying, shutting that phone off. Do not disturb.
Well,
Listen, that's the best
y'all
feature.
know me. I sleep with my phone beside the bed, and I make a point that I'm always available for all of the congregation. It really doesn't matter what time because I am truly a servant pastor, and so that's my job. And so if somebody is in need at 3 a.m, guess what? I'm picking the phone up. But I do understand boundaries, and I do understand that right here, see, this is my first ministry right here. So I do understand that. And so it's just trying to find that sweet balance, that sweet spot in between both of them. And sometimes it works out, and sometimes you get that crossways look. But thank God he intercedes on my behalf, and
Saves your life.
everything's good. Everything's good. And so it's just that finding that balance point.
I'm gonna cut Amazon off at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. No more.
No. We need to cut Amazon off. We need to get Amazon. Amazon only needs an hour a day when they can bring packages.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, they got a time.
They come 11, 12, 1, 2.
Ain't no boundary.
I've had Amazon show up at 5:45 in the morning.
Ain't no boundaries with Amazon. They not bothering nobody.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Just package and go.
Yes, absolutely. You don't got
no. When you
don't got to say thank you. You don't got to bring them no cookies and milk. You don't got to do none of the things.
No, when you go to the door, the Amazon guy come and you try to be courteous, and you go to the door and you meet him there, and he looks at you and say, "Jackie package, punk." I'm like, what?
We don't see no Amazon drivers, man. They be dipping and dodging so fast. I don't never see them.
He didn't say Jackie package punk. He just said this for Jackie.
That's because they're going back to get another package that you ordered. They gotta hurry up and get back so they can come back.
Right, that part, because it's crazy because somebody in my screen, right? Not me though, but somebody in my screen has developed relationships. Not only now, check this out. Watch this, y'all, because this is ministry, right? Touches and agrees, right? She has developed relationships with not only Amazon but FedEx, UPS, USPS, and they said, "Hey, I don't see your husband car out here. Is it okay to drop the packages off?
No, let me tell you something. I ordered something one time, and it was something that was supposed to be in the Amazon Depot. And I ordered it and I put it into my name. And they said, we have Prime, but for some reason they said this was going to take 3 days. And so I decided not to order it. But then the same day I go back and I order it and I just leave it in Jackie's name. Why did it show up in 45 minutes?
Listen,
Everything they told me was going to take 3 days. Now I leave it in her name. It show up in 45 minutes.
I ordered some shoes one time, and I was telling Key, I said, I don't like ordering things offline because it never works out. And she was like, no, it always works. I love Amazon. It always works. I ordered them, and they got lost. They got lost. I had to reorder them, and the neighbor had to get them. She was like, well, that never happens with me. She ordered something, and it came like the next day. I was like, I don't understand what's going on.
Preferred shopping privileges.
It's under my name. Like, they know who phone it come from.
I just want to say hello. My name is Jackie. I have an Amazon addiction.
Yes.
I'm not one in recovery. I'm not trying to work it out. I'm not anything. I'm just living with it.
I just look at this point. I just want something. Just at least order me something. Like, give my brother something.
Oh, I dropped it. Hold on, y'all.
Look, you see what happened? He flipped the whole thing all over. I said,
you know what happened? Because you ordered that from Amazon. Because if she would have ordered that from Amazon, that would have never happened. Like it would have been there.
And you know what? I have been to their house when Amazon come to their house. It must already be planned. The Amazon puts the packages behind the bushes. He's like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna put them right over here. This is what Key worked out. I'm gonna hide.
Really did. She really did put in a little description.
I see you looking. I see you looking, Brandon. I see you looking.
She won't look at me though.
Been on this conversation. Where my question?
We was talking about guidelines, and Amazon got none. They come over.
That's what we're talking about. We're talking about boundaries. And why come Amazon has no boundaries? That they can just show up at your house at any time and y'all don't say anything. Let one of my friends come over at 5:45 in the morning. Oh, there's gonna be some furniture moving. But Amazon show up. Ain't nothing said.
Terrible. All right,
we need to have a show about Amazon.
It's 7:34 and we ain't even hit question 2. Y'all already know we cut up.
No, we on Amazon. See, this really needs to come out. This is something that needs to be brought out to the forefront.
I'm up Amazon. Who said it? Who did it? Who fault is it?
I did.
Maybe we can get sponsored by Amazon after this.
But he don't say nothing when the things come for him. I don't understand what the problem is. When I order things for you,
like they have a personal issue with Amazon, but
no. Before you know what she said when she orders.
I feel it.
Whatever she orders, be like, what you order for me?
I order all the things for you. What do you mean?
Miss Victoria said Amazon, they are our special guests.
Listen, we know daggone well some of them Amazon packages be on his behalf.
I get batteries.
Or for his use.
I don't get nothing.
Come on, Key, with question 2.
I don't get nothing.
Lord.
Amazon driver don't even look at me. He just look at pay the bill pump.
Y'all better watch out for that lightning bolt. You better duck quick. All right.
Let me tell you what. I can tell you for every 20 Amazon packages that come in this house, I may have one.
1 out of 20, though.
1 out of 20.
That's about right.
Sometimes that's an accident.
History.
I ordered this and it ain't gonna work for me here.
You know what I said? You know what I said to that before we go to question number 2? Lucky man, lucky man, lucky man, lucky man.
Spence said Phil Chappelle. Oh my gosh, y'all crazy. All right, so learn to rest. This listen, I don't even know why I picked this topic to say for myself because I don't know nothing about that. Learn to rest. Take all the vacation time the church gives you, but even if you do that, it doesn't mean you will rest well. How important do you feel that it is to take a break, whether it be a full-fledged vacation or a quick getaway? And what are some creative ways that you can steal away some alone time? Because inquiring minds need to know.
Well, I don't know what rest is. That's unfortunate, you know.
That can't be
However,
all of our story.
right, but
I'm going to sleep
unfortunately,
right
it
now.
is. Unfortunately, it definitely is. But what I will say is, small date nights. You know, date nights. Come on, that's contagious, man. Whew, I'm getting sleepy myself. But but I would say small date night. Even just going back to when you used to date, sit in the car, get away, leave your phones in the house, listen to the radio. It doesn't have to be anything expensive or anything like that. Like for example, she might get emotional. However, our first date, I had money in my bank account. Let me offer that disclaimer. But the fact of the matter is, I took her to Taco Bell. And I'm a firm believer that, hey, listen, if I can romance you, have great conversation with you, with a drive-through menu, I don't mind giving you mignon in the world. That was my philosophy. You know,
Yeah,
that,
that's
that
love because she ain't cat food.
I hope y'all single folk heard that. You better write it down. Try to tell
you
you.
know what I'm saying.
That's right there.
You know it's
But I
love when
also
you cat food.
want to implore, because of course that was my mindset. But I also want to implore the beautiful single women, be open, because McDonald's, what? Taco Bell? You got to take me to Fogo de Chao. They want to,
Black Swan.
Black Swan. You want me to do all of these expensive things, but
Yeah.
if I don't know if you can hold a conversation with me. I don't know if
Yeah.
we're evenly yoked, and I'm not even talking about on the biblical aspect. Okay, are we able to have a full functioning adult conversation without it leading to a bedroom conversation? Can we
Yeah.
talk about how our days are? Can we talk about our hopes, our dreams, our goals? Can we have these conversations? And then later down the line, talk about these traumas so that when we enter possibly a marriage, I'm already front loaded. I already know what's about to happen. I already know what may be your triggers. So I'm going to make sure that I cover you not only in prayer, but also in my spirit, also in my mental, also in my physical, to make sure that everything that you need is already taken care of.
I like that. James Spencer jumped in there. He said, my wife likes to say our first date was at IHOP. I'm feeling y'all on that. That is
And you know what's funny? I really I actually like that because I think that we forget about, the simple things a lot. And going back to, the question about taking breaks and stuff like that. Right now, we have not been on a vacation since, oh my gosh, it was probably a year or two before COVID. So we are so far, overdue for an actual like trip. But just figuring out little creative ways now, I don't really know when we're going to have the opportunity to do it because he's, doing school full time. I'm started my new job a couple months ago and got everything else, all of the extra stuff, so but I remember, I don't know if that was the first time that we met up after we met, but I remember us we drove to my elementary school where I went to elementary school in the old neighborhood. We sat in the car, we talked, we watched the sun go down and almost watched the sun come back up again. We listened to Luther, all the oldies but goodies, listening to music, just talking. And like, so I'm just remembering that, we need to get back to that. Even if it's just a quick walk around the block, if the kids are here and, whatever, let's go for a walk, around the neighborhood or something, just something by ourselves, you know, where we could, because they listen, y'all know, because y'all got littles.
Mm-hmm. Come
I
on.
only got finished my sentence.
Listen, we don't have littles, but we in the season that we are in, and how God is growing BLF, and you know its extensions, you know, Victory Talk, and you know the we are, you know, really getting more and more involved with Love People, and you know, the Have a Heart to the Sandy Johnson Have a Heart to Help ministry, with, you know, so many different things coming into, you know, growing as, you know, Victorious Living Faith grows and, you know, elevates. There's no, for us, and I get a little, you know, little irritated, agitated, and I'm like, God, I need a vacation. I need some time away. We, you know, we need to shut down. And then I think about the last time when we went somewhere, we didn't shut down. I mean, we were there, but he was still doing some work on one something, and I was doing work on another something. It was like, it's just hard when, you know, as pastor and first lady, to really be able to find those moments or that time when, you know, we can really, you know, just be Phil and Jack. You know, I can't even, I just feel like it's not there right now. So, you know, I'm praying that God will raise up, you know, the people who can really, you know, really stand in our shoes to make it so that we can.
I was just about to say that. Listen, if y'all
Oh,
need,
girl, don't play.
listen, listen, you know I got y'all back 100,000%. If y'all two need a vacation, let us know. Kia preach, right? And I make sure she get there. So if just let me know whatever y'all need, you know.
Hey,
Gas too high, so I keep it on full right now. I will make sure she get there every Sunday, however long y'all need. I got it.
and you know what? And in all honesty, the Montagues are here. The Montagues are here for the Millers too. I know that it was said in a joking way, but we also have to understand, you know, the leadership, the shepherds of the house need to be recharged. So the Montagues openly volunteer their service, whatever you may need, you know, whatever it may be, just to sit, whatever you need. Sometimes, yes, you will need to shut down. You have to,
Yeah.
because in the long run, and something I had to learn, we're going to need you. You know, Victoria's going to need you. So if you burn the candle on both ends, we cannot have you, because you will no longer be with us because you have shut down.
Absolutely.
So please replenish.
Please, because you told me I got the juice when you finish, and I don't want no juice. Right now, I'm drinking water for the rest of my life.
Oh my gosh, Miss Victoria said, "Wow, that bus came fast."
Fast.
Yeah, that was toot.
Definitely. Yo said here, drop me off.
No,
anytime.
He know I'm joking, because I think the last two times
when they took a break,
I think both times I had to preach. I remember the first time we were remote and I was trying to learn and troubleshoot. Y'all was in a hotel, and I'm like, Phil, how does it work? I don't know how you need. It worked though. It worked, you know. So it is what it is.
Well, I say this openly and publicly. I'm putting my foot down. If I do not get a week away from my anniversary, there's gonna be problems.
Oh no, I've already set that up. Don't
okay.
about that.
Yes, come on, sir.
See?
They don't be knowing. They don't be knowing. See?
They don't be knowing.
Hey Phil,
Yeah.
You told me to get her there at 7:45 or
That's all right, because while he laughing, it's all you, player. James Spence said we don't call it date night, but we make sure that Sunday through Tuesday nights we eat together and watch a movie or series. And I love
Praise
that.
God.
Yeah.
And you know, our time is gonna come. We busy right now during this season, you know, where, and we knew that once school started for 5 months, we were going to be hitting and missing. Like, we barely seeing each other. We coming home and somebody snoring, the other person, like it's just really, but the reward in the end is going to be worth it all. And so, you know, we just got
Yeah.
tight. We gonna steal away. If it's 5 minutes, an hour, we gonna make it do what it do until we get it done.
Yeah.
Steal away.
Steal away.
So the next thought we had
Ooh,
was
yeah.
about ooh. Laugh a lot together as a family. Marriage and ministry are both very serious and heavy much of the time. So, what are your thoughts on this? Is it true that laughter is the best medicine?
Yes.
I want to ask this question, but we kind of already know it.
My
Yes.
whole house.
Yeah,
My
because
house-
we
God.
already know that, the saying goes, laugh to keep from crying. But it's deeper than that, because we know that crying, shedding tears is beneficial for the human body. It flushes out. We understand that. But sometimes laugh, it works on your abs, because if you laugh a whole lot, your stomach starts to, yeah. So
Oh,
my abs are getting there. Yeah, right. but the fact of the matter, like it works on everything.
I'm like a dog.
I'm telling you, my abs are getting there. I don't know what else is going on there, but yeah, it's getting there because I laugh all the time.
Trees, don't do that. Don't do that.
So you're saying now, if you want some toned abs, just put on a marathon Dave Chappelle show, you should be good.
But he
I'm
doesn't
with
even.
it.
I tried that, don't work.
He is the jokester of the house, literally all day. This personality that y'all getting, this is him all day long, every day in the house. Like, there is not a dull moment, and it's so bad because the kids and the dog follow right behind him. So I'm
my
the
God.
only sane one in the house. I just sit.
No, you're
and
not,
watch.
because
No,
guilty by
right.
association. And you got, look,
Right.
if you
Everybody
say
else is
he's
on
not
one
sane,
accord
uh-huh.
except this loose string.
Listen, I wholeheartedly believe, that laughter is the best medicine. I love to laugh. And that is why God, blessed me with somebody that is just as silly and as cray-cray as I am. He was about to say, like, our whole family, like she said, I mean, it's me, it's him, it's the kids,
My
it's
dog
the dog.
retarded.
Yeah, like,
My
I
dog.
mean, for real, we cut up and we just have so much fun though. Like, so I know, Chantrice, even if you're more, on the quiet, reserved side, you can't help it. It's infectious. So when he start cutting up, then you're gonna be cutting up right along with him.
Excuse me. See, now because we live on the air, let's be honest, open and honest.
Oh, so she be cutting up too.
Cutting up. Like cutting up. Like, she's just almost as bad as me. Jokesters and everything.
Oh, she left that part out.
Yeah, she did. Because, she was trying to stick with the structure. But we had moved on from that part, and she just missed that memo. But the fact of the matter is, you also have to, and this definitely goes back to those McDonald's or those Taco Bell dates and having those conversations about past trauma or past experiences, because there have been a lot of times where the past experiences that you want to enjoy, you can't, because you was forced to suppress so many smiles and everything.
Yeah.
So many times of laughter you were forced to suppress. And then when you finally get somebody who is willing to open up that laughter box inside of you and not to hide it and to let you
And
cut
not
up and
judge
have
you.
fun.
And not judge you.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Not judge you. What's your thoughts on that? You so quiet. What?
Well, I'm just sitting here because I'm afraid of being judged.
Y'all already
Right,
know.
y'all.
Y'all already know Phil Chappelle.
Yes.
Yes.
Phil
This,
Chappelle.
this what we do. That's what we do.
That's what we do.
All right, y'all. So next one up is encourage your children to be themselves. This is a hot button. Encourage your children to be themselves. Kids of clergy tend to feel such pressure to be who everyone thinks they are supposed to be. What are your thoughts on this? How do you incorporate, teaching your children to be themselves? And are there any obstacles that you've had to face, dealing with that? I know we all got it. Go ahead, Brandon.
Oh Lord. So I will say that the generational difference matter. And I say that because I had to, Brandon Montague, son of presiding elder Ernest L. Montague, grandson of Mrs. I had that whole lineage that I had to go right after.
Mm-hmm.
But it is that my daughters have the opportunity to say, oh, and my dad is a preacher. Oh, and my dad is a
I love that.
clergy. Because, so don't feel the pressures that made me. They don't feel they don't feel as though, oh, I got to be this way, that way. No, they are individuals. They are, I expect them to still conduct themselves with decency and respect as a human being of God. As a child of a two-parent household, there's a certain way I expect you to carry yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But I never have put that pressure on Reverend Brandon Montague's expectations of you. No, I need you to be you. Because I can't get you into heaven or hell, baby. It's not going to be my name that's going to get you there. It's going to be your merit. It's going to be your actions. And I was part of the generation that still had that in their head, that because I am the grandson of such and such, that's going to give me a piece of heaven that I didn't think I was going to get, or that was going to give me on the fast track to heaven. Yes, granted, my last name got me into some places in the AME church. However, and we're just going to be on. However, in the real world, no, that's not how it works. So my hard work has got that to a different place. So
I think that also folds over to spouses too.
yes.
So, like for me, once they hear the last name, they're like, "Oh, you're so and so's wife." I'm like,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
I'd be proud about that, but I'm also Chantrice. I was Chantrice before I married him. But it's the expectations that people put on you. It's just so big, and they forget that we're actual human beings first. The name is something secondary.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Although we don't have littles, our children they're grown. We have grandchildren, but we came during the time as we were, coming up in ministry. They were in their teens, but it did not affect them. I thank God it didn't affect any of them in any way, negative. You guys know that one of our boys is a rapper. He out there doing his thing and he's blowing up. And then, another one of our sons, and it's a total of 6 of them. Another one of our sons, he's into that acoustic music. He plays in a live band, and he's just real free spirited, and he does
Black and tan, y'all. Shameless plug. Woo woo.
And Quan is cue to music. I don't know if y'all want to listen to that, but anyway. We're proud of them nevertheless. But then one of our daughters, she is let me go back to Octavia, because Octavia did a little, she did some acting in a soap opera, a soap opera type thing. And then she had, she's into that modeling stuff, and she had some risque photos that, but nevertheless, it did us being in ministry. And then but next she's a doctor. She's in dentistry and she's a doctor. And then I felt a little I was a little nervous when our oldest daughter went. She became a writer and an author, and she started these. The what are the books called? Sierra BBW. So this book called some kind of genre called BBWs, but it's interesting. It's very the sisters. It's a good read. Chantrice, I'll send them to you. You can just
Yes.
go right. They're right. They're all online. They're good reads. Yes, you
Oh
would really
yeah. Oh yeah.
enjoy them. But I'm just so thankful that again respectful that they didn't throw it. They don't just throw their stuff out there, and it's not anything necessarily that pornography or anything that somebody will look at and say, "Ooh, you doing that, PK?" No, it's not like that. And so I'm just grateful that they are of a generation where their parents being in ministry has not affected them. It has not stifled them, in their growth, in their, expression, in their freedom. It has allowed them to, just to be who they are.
And I think, just to piggyback off of what Brandon was saying, it really does have a lot to do with, the current culture, the current state of affairs that we're in. Our children, I think I, on purpose, tried to keep them from, feeling a certain type of way. We're raising them like everybody else on here said, respectful. Long as you're respectful, you're courteous, you go to school, you do what you're supposed to do, you do all of those things. But we don't, they'll be able to say, oh, this is my mom and dad, or we're like, hey, this is me, Sean and Kiara. We don't do the title thing, and we live, we live our lives according to the way that God would have us to do it. But we also, are an example to the children that you don't have to change who you are. You don't have to try to conform. You don't have to try to be perfect, because it's never going to happen. Be yourself, but at the same time, just do it in decency and in order. So I just, just seeing people before me who were PKs and everything that they had to deal with, and just being held to this higher standard, it's stressful on a kid. It's extremely stressful. So yeah, we're not doing that.
I understand the format of the question, but at the same time, ministry aside, I just feel like as a black man, being in a household where I have my wife, and statistically speaking, we are not always represented by a two parent household. We see more negative than we do see positive in the black community. At least that's what they show. Like, we don't have black love, so it's my responsibility to make sure that my household moves a certain way. Ministry aside, ministry comes first in my house. Phil, you know me. Jackie, you know me. I would love for the Montagues to get to know us, but at the same time, when I go outside, the first thing that anyone sees is black man. So I make sure that when my son sees me, he sees principles, values, morals. The I laugh and joke and play a lot, but no one in this world can ever say I disrespected them, nor did I not wear my heart on my sleeve, and I show love to every single person that I've ever come across. So that's exactly why, when we do go places, it's not because I'm Minister Mishawn Noble, or we have Minister Kiara Noble. It's because we are a black man and a black woman in society where we need to continuously show this image of black excellence. It's okay to educate yourself. It's okay to love one another. It's okay to address one another with respect. So that's how I feel about the situation.
All right.
All
Definitely
right,
deep.
y'all. We winding down now. We winding down. That they
I'm
time
sleep
flies when
I'm sleep as soon as this thing go off. Boy.
it's daytime, sir. No, you not.
Date night gonna be in my dream.
Y'all finish talking about the he lying, because he gonna get off in here. He's still gonna be chilling, but I bet you he be woke.
Oh Lord.
If you ain't woke, you get woke up.
Oh my man.
Oh, whoa, whoa. Wow, wow, wow,
Show.
wow,
No,
wow.
hurry up and close the show.
Take it home, Phil.
You want me to do number 8? We got time.
Nope.
All right, y'all.
He said,
Nope.
no, I don't want to do number 8. Come on now. You done heard the music. Bow, chicka, wow, wow, chicka, wow.
Oh my gosh. All right, to close us out, y'all. Ministry life can be heavy and can certainly take a toll on marriage. As we close, what are some ways that you can help your spouse through the challenges of ministry life? We know how difficult it can be to have the responsibility of always being available, but what are some ways that we can help each other to navigate through? Because it is indeed heavy, especially when people go through seasons of loss or death, or just the things that really hit home and really be trying to take people out. What y'all got? What y'all got for the people?
Well, I guess for us, the constant reminders of those 2 words that we said at the altar. I do. Understanding that even years, days, moments later, I still do. So that means that I knew that ministry was a calling on your life. I knew ministry going to be invested in our marriage, and I still do. Sometimes ministry makes us feel like alone. I know for me, it's just like, all right, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do that. When I have a whole nother phenomenal human being there to help.
Praise God.
It's a joy in knowing that she's going to be there in season and out of season. And it's funny hearing these church cliches, when they say preach the gospel in season and out of season, but also understand that my wife is going to be there to support my preaching in season and out of season, supporting me in season and out of season, on my good days and on my bad days, when I can't lift my arms up, knowing that my wife is like, all right, baby, come on, I got you. I got you. Don't worry what it looks like. I got you. And I think that's one of the most beneficial things that anybody could ever ask for or desire, knowing the constant reminder, because I know sometimes we get so absent-minded and so engulfed in this ministry, this thing called ministry. It's just that constant reminder, hey, I got you. I still do. I got you and I still do. Those 2 phrases are going to be the key things that keep not only ministry actively going, but your original first ministry, your family, actively going. And sometimes you have to even tell your children, even when they get on your lap, I love you, and I'm still going to make sure I'm going to be the best father that you can be. I still do. I still will be the best cook that I can be for you. We still be. I know that's improper vernacular, so for all those who are educated, public educators or privately educated, please forgive me. But we still do. We still does. You understand what I'm saying? We still going to do this thing together. So just be reminded that you still do.
I got to put this out here before Lady J and Pastor Phil go. I'm just saying that I was told that if you're called to ministry, then your spouse shall also be called to ministry. And I'm just saying that y'all talking like it's going to be a one-way street for a long time. I don't know about you. I'm just saying, because you know what? Honestly, when I was told that, I was looking at this guy and I'm like, my husband would never agree to this. Like, he is just not. And I mean, he fought the good fight long as he could, but I was like, he's just going to run forever. He is never. And how long behind me was you? 2 years?
Let me say this, Key, because there's ministry in different forms.
Yeah, I know.
Different levels. There's not necessarily that your spouse is going to preach, not necessarily that your spouse is going to teach or whatever, But when your spouse is, when you have one spouse that is in ministry, yes, I do believe that the other spouse is automatically being pulled into ministry because they've got to operate in a different way. And God willing, your spouse receives that and is with you, because whether they are minister, reverend, bishop, presiding over, no matter what it is, whether they are elder, deacon, stewardess, whatever, as long as they carry the title husband or wife, when you minister, they are in ministry. They are, because it works so much better, and it just the flow, the dance, it's better, it's smoother when you're operating together, when you are on one accord. I feel for those relationships that when one has been called into ministry and the other doesn't quite get it, or they don't quite understand it, so then it makes it. And we've had some friends that have had separations because they don't have an understanding. Maybe the one spouse didn't have that understanding of God is my everything. God is here. God is, I'm listening to, for lack of better words, the voice in my head that's telling me to X, Y, and Z. And sometimes that spouse may not understand or may not agree. I've seen it happen. And so it is, I think it is an awesome thing that, when, two become one, and then one gets called, and then the other, God has a way of, moving them. God called me into ministry prior to Pastor Phil, before Pastor Phil. And Pastor Phil said, listen, I'm not doing it. I want, somebody got to do the sinning and somebody got to do the saving. Those were his exact words, y'all.
The whole pastor.
No, I'm not slowing down for the Lord to get me into no ministry. But at the same time, he was already in ministry. Pastor Gray was cultivating him. He was armor bearer. He was multimedia. He was already being cultivated, and I ain't had to open my mouth and do nothing. So that's just my 2 cents on that. Go ahead.
No, I was just thinking about them days when you was in Board of Examiners, because I used to say, well, there you go. It's time for you to go to Hogwarts. You had your little black coat. Time for you to go to Hogwarts. Go and get out of the house.
Used to give me the blues about Board of Examiners, boy.
I used to tell, I said, look, we have to have balance. One has to do the sinning, one got to do the saving. So you do your part, and I'll do mine.
In regards to that question, we also have to realize that we know each other's ins and outs like nobody else in this world. My wife, one of my wife's best friends in this whole wide world is her mom. And there's going to be certain things that she talks to her mom about, but there's going to be certain things she talks to me about. But when it's time for her to come to me, for I am supposed to be the pastor of my family, she is to know that I'm going to be completely 100% honest with her, because she's not going to see everything that I can see from the outside.
Yeah.
Well, I think y'all froze there. Or
Miss Victoria said the spouse can be the minister of the minister. Be the person that your other half leans on. You are so right, Miss Victoria. That's some truth speaking right there. We lost the nose. We just lost the nose.
But I will say this, to wholeheartedly agree. The positioning of the spouse also. Oh, the nobles are back. The positioning of the spouse is also to see, so if most people will know, I'm a big old school cartoon fan, Transformers all day long. However, it was something about Thundercats with the all-seeing eye. And with that all-seeing eye, they can see with beyond sight. And when I say that, that's what the spouse is, that all-seeing eye. Sight beyond sight, because they're going to see stuff that we can't see. Magnets, sound.
Sorry, y'all. The dog is out of control.
He mad because he got a muzzle on, so.
It's all good. We are at the top of the hour anyway. P, come on and shut us down. Let's go.
All right, y'all. So we just want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. As always, y'all already know how we do. So you never know, what we gonna say. You never know what you gonna see. You never know what you gonna hear. But it is always going to be in laughter and love. Okay. So we thank our guests, the Montagues, for joining us, for coming back. We pray that y'all will come back and join us again real soon. We're going to have y'all on some hot topics or something. We had to do couples hot topics. He just gave it to me just that quick. We're going to have to do couples hot topics, y'all. Yes. It is going to be it. Y'all already know Victory Talk is always the place to be. Friday night, 7 p.m. Friday nights, Lady J and myself. So thank y'all for tuning in once again to Victory Talk. We will see y'all next time. Same time, same place. Oh, before we go, Friends and Family Weekend is in full effect, y'all. VLF Ministries Friends and Family Weekend. Tomorrow, we're going to be at Round 1 in Towson, starting at 1 p.m. until for Friends and Family event. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Come on out and have some fun with us, y'all. You don't have to be a member, but you are going to get some family love if you show up. We just putting it out there. So, it is what it is. And Sunday morning, we got a service at 9 a.m. It is going to be on fire. We got a 3 p.m. service with a guest speaker, Reverend Maudlin from Back River.
First Baptist of
Back River. Y'all do not want to miss this weekend. I'm trying to tell y'all. So come hang out with us tomorrow, and we will see y'all again on Sunday for Friends and Family Day. We invite everybody to come out and hang out with us. Y'all already know we're not your traditional. So you can come, you don't gotta put on no fancy suit, no high heels. You can come as you are. So let us love on you as we only know how to do. So good night, everybody, and we will see y'all next time.
Good night.